forces. Get some Scourge out, play it safe. He looks like he might be maneuvering a bit more around the map. This is exactly what he needs to do. Flash is a decisive person, though. If he goes for your 7 o'clock expansion, and looks like he might be going for that, and he thinks he can take it, he will attack. He's not going to vacillate back and forth. Zero needs to do something here. He either needs to attack the natural, or he needs to come in and deal with this. Flash stemming his forces. He's coming up the ramp. He's not charging ahead directly. He's waiting for the medics to come in. Looks like Flash might be angling to fight up this ramp here with his infantry against these Lings. This is what I mean. You can't bring the Scourge in along with Mila's. The Scourge needs to come in at a different angle. Flash going with his Mag Marines. Zero this time coming. Zero with much better Scourge control, wiping out everything. Good job. Great play by Zero. This is exactly what he needs to do. Unfortunately, Flash with a second force of Medic Marines. Flash, an absolute terror. This is what I mean. He has so many armies. Soviet Union-esque forces, just seemingly endless and inexhaustible. Zero, even though he pulled off an absolutely brilliant attack there, and these Mulists trying to micro against Valkyrie, that's not going to work so well. Flash is pushing with his infantry. There's only one sunken and few Lings. Zero needs lurkers here to defend, or Swarm, but he wouldn't be anywhere close to getting Swarm. Flash with more and more reinforcements. Flash might be using his infantry to pick off that hatchery. No, he's going for the Sunken. He's going to be able to kill the Sunken, and Zero is going to lose his third base, and I fear with the loss of this base is going to be GG. Zero not being decisive at all there with his Mulists. Not like he had much of a choice. He managed to pick off the Valkyries at least, but Flash with so many infantry executing this hatchery, destroying all the drones. I fear with this is GG, and Flash just with impeccable play this entire series. Zero looks like he is completely outmatched. He hasn't done anything special this entire series. He hasn't done any sort of special build that he prepares just for the finals or anything like that. I fear that is a bit of a mistake. Flash with a little smile there, I guess, maybe a smirk. I think he knows he's going to win his golden badge. Zero coming with more Lings and Mulists, doing a reasonably good attack here, cleaning up another one of Flash's army, but Flash is not going to care. He did the damage he needed to do with that army. Flash looks like he's going for mech again, changing it up once more. He's not building from his barracks. He did what he needed to do. Zero is certainly in serious trouble. He is deeply behind, but it is not impossible for him to come back. He has Hive. He'll have the Filer soon. He's going to spot the mech, and his Queen play is awesome. It is a sight to behold. Flash, still with 2 more Valkyries. He built a lot of Valkyries this game. Zero at least managed to pick off the Valkyries much better this time compared to last time. And Flash, interestingly enough, he must have canceled the +1 upgrade, because he did build an engineering bay earlier. I don't know whether it was flashing or not. He may have built it just for the turrets. Maybe that's what he did. Yeah, exactly. I knew he built the engineering bay, but he may have built it just for the turrets. And so far, Flash, honestly, with the type of play he's demonstrated, he's kept all the Mulists in the field. In theory, he doesn't even need to put down turrets at his bases to defend against Mulist harass. And looks like we have some more Scourge coming in to engage these Valkyries. Mostly good attack by Zero. Unfortunately, he just didn't have enough Scourge to clean up all the Valkyries. Even 2 Valkyries are absolutely devastating against Mulist. And Zero not withdrawing his Mulist, losing 1 more and getting a lot more seriously damaged for no good reason. Flash, excellent play with his Valkyries. He's capable of juking them around. Unfortunately for him, he's only down to the 1 Valkyrie, and 1 Valkyrie still is enough to make these Mulists fear the hand of the Terran, the wrath of the Terran mech forces. The airplanes, the air forces, they're mechanized too. So certainly, Valkyries very potent when employed correctly. Flash with these barracks, very useful as spotters. He just seems to be absolutely everywhere the entire series. And you know, Zero cannot afford to be one step behind Flash. He needs to do something and try to throw Flash off balance. At least try. I know it's difficult to throw Flash off balance, but it's not impossible. And do something bizarre, or maybe not bizarre. Bizarre is not the correct way of describing it, but he needs to do something other than cower behind his defenses here. Because he's not launched one attack thus far this entire series on Flash. It's always been Flash on the offensive, on the offensive, on the offensive. Zero not even capable of using his Mulus to attack SCVs this series. That is not a recipe for victory. Zero has managed to reestablish his... well, he's not reestablished, he's established his 4th base there. He also has 3 evolution chambers, so he's going to upgrade everything, exactly what he needs to deal with mech. Zero suiciding his Air Force into Flash's Mech Marines. He managed to pick off one more Valkyrie. Maybe this Scourge can kill the last Valkyrie, but Zero with no more Air Force, he's managed to kill all the Valkyries. However, I think there was no reason for him to lose all those Mulus like that. Mulus is always useful to absorb damage, or even to go scouting the Terran base, or send a few to attack his SCVs. You never know. Terran might get distracted there. Mulus have so many uses. Throwing away them to infantry is not one of their uses. Zero with an attempt to establish a 5th base here, but that's not going to work, I feel. So many vultures coming in. I think Flash is going to be able to take it if he wants, and that base is open to harass. Swarm defending against tanks here at the 8 o'clock position. Flash bringing vultures, tanks, infantry. Very potent army here. Flash thus far not even getting science vessels. He might choose to send those vultures in to execute drones again. Zero using mind drags. Very clever Zergling there. Unfortunately, that lurker not able to burrow. A second swarm coming out here for Zero. His lurker is in position, I think, to attack some of these tanks here, forcing Flash to pull back temporarily. Unfortunately, this isn't quite enough to achieve victory. Flash setting up his 4th base, it looks like. Zero might actually have mining now at his 5th base, so Zero certainly came back in this game economically. Flash with turrets all over the map. I don't think these are drop overlords, I think they're just out for scouting. So Flash even denying the scout like that. He's one of the best defensive players. No, I would argue he's the greatest defensive player of all times. Not impossible to kill, and his defense is usually impenetrable. Zero going with brilliant mind drags. Just a feeling. Zero has proven so far that he's capable of doing so much with so little. He is a great tactical player, I feel. But unfortunately for Zero, he needs to be able to keep up more in his economy. In the last 2 games, he was not doing so. In this game, he seems to be doing fine. 5 bases versus 4 against perfectly acceptable TVZ. So let's see what Zero can do now in this sort of late game play. I think this is where he can equal Flash, or at least he needs to be able to take Flash on in the late game. Flash building so many tanks there at his bases. He's probably angling to set up base at the 1 o'clock position. That's sort of his style of mech play, and unfortunately Zero sending these lurkers out to get killed by tanks. Not the best move. They needed to be covered by Swarm, I feel, or pull those back or something. These lurkers taking a lot of unnecessary damage there to the tanks. Sending Lings out is a great move, of course, but I don't know about those lurkers. Flash now mining up again in the front. In this game, Flash cannot afford, to lose 15 tanks like he did last game to Queens. I haven't seen any Queens come out for Zero yet. I don't think he actually has the time or the resources to build Queens. Getting a few, I think, would be wise. Zero constantly attacking with these Lings, and so many lurkers popping into the siege tank fire. This is just absolutely brutal. I don't know why there are no defilers there. Zero streaming Lings, doing his best to attack these tanks with Lings, but so many dead Zerg units there. I think Zero suffered far more losses than he wanted to. Zero certainly cannot afford this type of losses. Finally, with some decent swarms there to cover his forces, but Flash still looks like close to a dozen tanks there, sieged up outside of Zero's 8 o'clock expansion. Fortunately, at least, Zero is going to have the economy to compete this game. Yeah, Flash is putting down his 5th base, it looks like. He might even have a base there at the 2 o'clock position. So Flash is certainly macroing hard. I think this is a good time for Zero to bust out some coins if he has some. I don't know whether he actually has some. There are just so many tanks. Sending a few Lings out there are doing nothing, absolutely nothing against this sort of devastation. And Flash now moving his tanks through the Dark Swarm. I don't think Zero actually has anything to hold here. He's got another Filer out just barely, and a few Lings able to hold out for now. But Flash, I think, is just going to buy his time. 16 kills and 20 kills on those tanks. Absolutely sick. This is why it's just way too many tanks. The Nidus goes down. I fear with that Nidus down, Zero's not going to be able to hold this base. Zero even bringing out drones to do drone bombs, if you would, using splash damage. Zero sign there. I think this is going to be GG coming from Zero. Flash 3-0ing Zero. I think this is probably a little premature GG there. Nevertheless, excellent series by Flash. He wins the golden badge. He deserves it. A little disappointing Zero here. Well, not a little. Very disappointing Zero. I think Zero just not ready for the big time today. And I wish he had given Flash a greater challenge coming to the finals here. Anyway, great series. Thank you for watching.
그렇습니다. 그런 것이 필요할 때예요. 지금 김명호 선수에게 필요한 것은 응원 그리고 마인드 컨트롤입니다. 분명히 첫 결승이고 긴장도 많이 됐을 거예요. 그래서 앞서 1경기에 다소 아쉬운 부분을 좀 느끼면서 패배하고 말았는데 이겨야죠.